Hey guys, Edgar here. Guns for everyone. Quick little video, as I always say, quick little video, and then it turns out to be a fucking 20-minute long video. Hopefully, this one's not it. You'll already be able to tell because it's already in the timestamp. But I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time, but life, laziness, all that shit, priorities, kind of gets in the way. I try and be as consistent as possible with these videos. Unfortunately, I fail. I don't make any money from this stuff, so I can't make it a priority, unfortunately. If I made money off of it, then fuck yeah. If we had sponsors, if other people paid for the time, it'd be fantastic. But unfortunately, such is life, and I have to make money, so I cannot prioritize these videos like I want to, and I really do want to. But I wanted to talk about this idea of it worked. I had a student who used to be a cop, and we were talking about stance, and we were talking about how we really don't know how we're going to be when the bad guy attacks us. So the way we should train at the range in a controlled environment is to be neutral. Humans, we stand upright, we stand squared up, kind of the way I am right now, right? Like I'm not talking to you guys sideways and bladed or anything like that. And there's a lot of humans in 2025 who still decide that shooting bladed is the way you ought to train. The problem with that is that it's a learned thing. It's something that is very isolated. It's something that may work at the range when you're doing marksmanship, but it may not work when you're in your car facing forward. Your eyes are forward, and that's the other thing is we as humans we are predators. Our eyes are in front of our head; they're not on the side of our head. So as predators, we do better facing this direction. That's kind of a small little tidbit to it. But the biggest thing is we spend a large portion of our natural life in this position. The camera's right here, and I am facing the camera. If I'm waiting in line, I wait in line like fuck. That hurt a little bit. If I'm waiting in line, I stand natural and neutral. I don't fucking stand bladed. If I'm talking to my friends, I stand natural and neutral. I don't fucking stand bladed. I think I've mentioned this in videos before, but this time I want to talk about this idea of if and show you guys how batshit crazy it is. But anyways, the student, he said, "Well, I used to be a cop," and usually when it starts like that, we already know bullshit's gonna come out. Not because he used to be a cop, but it's the whole context of it, right? So he says, "Yeah, I used to be a cop, and I've been involved in some situations, and when they call us in, we would line up, and that's usually the way we would line up is sideways, and it worked for me. So you're telling me not to do it that way?" And I'm like, "Well, you were a cop. Your radio told you to show up to the thing, so you already on the offense. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you're already on the offense. You had the anticipation that you were going to use your gun, so you went into that mode, right? When I'm at Walmart, when I'm at Target, when I'm Mexican, so I don't know who the fuck we're fighting with right now. It's February 7th, 2025. And I'm supposed to be mad at certain people. I don't know who the fuck to be mad at right now. So I'm just saying random shit, Starbucks, wherever, 7-Eleven, whatever, right? Like what I'm doing is I'm texting people, I am sending a video, I am uploading things, I'm downloading things, I'm looking at products, I'm taking picture, whatever the fuck you guys do at Walmart, Kmart, Target, all of that shit, right? At Circuit City, all of these places. I'm just gonna name shit that doesn't exist anymore. And what you're not doing at those places is standing bladed. So that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about a military person or a cop person, which we could argue in a separate conversation that has nothing to do with civilians, whether even cops in military should stand bladed and go in bladed and stuff like that. That's a whole separate conversation. And not to say right or wrong, it's just we got to look at the context. Context is civilians. Also, this bullshit idea that it works, so we must train for it because it worked once in a very isolated circumstance. It's fucking hot garbage. Uh, I've had to use my gun in self defense twice. Once I shot, the other time I didn't. And I can tell you from my experience is that there is there is nothing that was similar other than just my movements, I guess. The way I extended the gun, it was full extension in both contexts. Even the time I didn't end up pressing the trigger. Other than that, psychologically, emotionally, my position, my posture, where I was located, the way I was positioned in relation to the bad guy was not the same. So it's this idea that I should train the way it was the first time because it worked that time. Well, what about the second time when I wasn't the same? I was in the back in the office, and then a fucking truck rammed into the store, and then there was bad guys, and they had guns, and we were good people, and we had guns, and they were trying to steal shit with their guns, with their tools. That time, I was coming from the back. I wasn't even in the same in relation to the bad guy. I wasn't even in the same position. I wasn't facing the same. So the way I faced him was differently. My wife was with me the second time. So like, which one should I do? Should I do the one where it worked the first time in training, or should I do the second one? And that's the bullshit of this. Well, it worked for me, so one time in a very isolated circumstance, so obviously it's correct. No, it's bullshit. We gotta get to a point where you're like, you might be full of shit, and you just got lucky, and it counts. That luck counted, but you can't sit there and say because it worked for me in this very specific, very isolated circumstance that's the way everyone should train, because there's so many fucking circumstances. Let's go to the videos, right? Like we go to Brazil, and we get my Brazilian homie right here. Let me put it up for you guys. I was about to fucking play it without sharing it with you guys. But if we share it with you guys, let me change this. There we go. So if we look at my Brazilian homie, you're gonna watch people die. So just FYI, or at least get shot. You won't actually see them die, but you're gonna watch people get shot. And check this shit out. I'm just gonna let it play. Maybe. Oh, it's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. I guess it's not gonna fucking work. So we'll go to the other video while this shit decides whether it's gonna fucking work or not work. Oh, there we go. Pew! Let me expand it here. Here we go. Good old fucking technology. Oh man. Fucking gotta love technology. Anyways, let me go to the other video. Oh, it doesn't want to play in full. That's fucking weird. So a lot of people get they're oohing and awing when they see this video. I'm gonna go to this one over here. This is the beauty of me just doing videos without fucking editing and just fucking giving it to you just the way it is. It's this shit happens. Boom, shoot. I'm gonna fucking refresh this motherfucker because something you're gonna see this. You're gonna fucking see this shit. Pew. Does the pew pew. Boom, shoots two bad guys. There's a lot that happened here that I'm like, I don't know why he did that. I wasn't there, so I'm not gonna say he survived, right? That's part of your guys' thinking is, well, he lived, so it worked. If we slow this down, which I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this now, knowing that my internet is not doing what it's supposed to, which kind of ruins the whole fucking video. But if we play this in slow mo, right? Like we do it a quarter of a speed, and we acknowledge this guy right here, my good guy. He gets up. First off, he does his startle as soon as he gets shot. But look at where he's facing when he takes his very first shot. Right there, he took his very first shot. And if we look at where the fuck he's facing, now that I want, there we go. He's facing down. So this guy's facing down, and he took a shot. And then he proceeds to extend his foot forward while he shoots the other guy. So we should do this at the range, right? Like at the range, we should put our foot in front of the muzzle and just start pressing the trigger, right? Like we should just do this like very closely. And by the way, again, The way we should train humans to do it because it worked. It fucking worked. So the way we should do it with humans at the range is oh, come on, play. You were just fucking playing. Somebody broke my internet. They're painting the building, and I think they broke my internet. Um, I just played it when just fucking played it. But he was looking down. Anyways, that's the fucking point. He was looking, go fucking find that video, because my internet doesn't want to work. He was facing down. So what should we do is get humans that are facing down while they point the gun up and start shooting blindly into the fucking targets because it worked one time. Should we get humans? This guy right here. Look at how he's gripping the gun. It worked, right? So this guy is, and then we should teach people that as soon as you hear gunshots, you ought to just cower down and just kind of just shoot recklessly. Again, facing down while you're shooting the gun. I don't know that any student that's serious about self defense would accept me saying, "Do this." So this guy is most likely untrained. He has the pew pew, an untrained individual, and he has it in his head. He has it in his brain. Well, it worked. So this is how I'm going to train. But if we see it, the only thing that was instinctive about that was just the way he pointed the gun, right? Everything else was hot garbage. If an instructor uploaded a video showing their students facing down, looking at the fucking ground, and then shooting or retreating while fucking looking at their toes and then pew pewing, Isaac pointed out that in that one, his girlfriend or whoever was in the bed got shot, and he didn't even pay attention to that. Like that's not what we would train. We would not train for any of that stuff, but it worked. So we have to get to the, and my internet is not working, so I'm not making my point as clear as I want it to make it. But I hope you kind of get the point. Is that just because it worked in one circumstance in a very isolated incident, very specific incident, in terms of moves and because we have to understand variables, right? So many fucking variables come into to play. Um, just because it happened one time, maybe to you personally, it happened to you, and that was your experience. It doesn't mean that that's the way the world works all the fucking time. So at the range, the best we can do is learn how to process information. Because I don't know where the bad guy's coming from. I don't know if the bad guy's coming up from behind me. I don't know. I just did a fucking video. I was expecting my internet to work, and then all of a sudden it doesn't fucking work. That's life. So if I sit here and I cut the video and I don't have fucking time for that shit. I'm just gonna fucking roll with it, roll with the chaos, and try and say my point. That's life. So if you go to your range, and at your range you're standing bladed because in 1989 and September fucking 29th at noon, at one time you got a fucking radio call and you showed up, and the way they taught you how to do it in 1989 was to go in bladed and shit like that, and it worked for you one time. Doesn't mean that's how the fucking world should train for the pew pews. It worked for you that one time. Maybe you just got lucky. My Brazilian guy, motherfucker, got lucky. Like if you look at the video, there everything about that shit says he got lucky. He 100% got lucky. The second bad guy didn't have a chambered gun. He was facing down when he took his first shot, and it hit the fucking guy. But that's a luck, and luck counts, but we cannot count on that shit all the time. So we have to get to this point where we accept that just because it worked doesn't make it the rule, the standard on how we should train. Right? He's looking down. Yeah, my internet's fucked. Look, it still shows as it's still going. Whatever. Clearly, you guys weren't meant to see any of that shit. If you've been to my classes, you've seen that video before. I don't like to kind of show too many videos. I do show videos just to make a point, but you never want to get accused of the cherry picking. You guys can go look the shit up. There's a bunch of people who did some pretty stupid fucking shit, and it worked for them. And just because it worked doesn't mean that's the way we should train. So we have to step out of this. It worked. Sure. Yes. It's awesome that it works. It needs to be efficient. needs to be effective, but it also needs to be consistent. At the range, we can't be doing dumb shit just because we seen a video of somebody facing down, running backwards. By the way, if I'm getting shot at and I go backwards, guess what the effect is? I'm still fucking getting shot at because I'm in the same line of the fucking bullet. So like that doesn't work. Well, let me rephrase it. That should not be the training standard just because it worked one time. Hopefully it made sense. It fucking makes sense to me 100%. Humans who know me, maybe they comment down below. We do a horrible job at supporting each other. There's a bunch of people that watch these videos in the gun community that know me and that train with me and help me and mentor me, and we don't fucking share each other's shit as much as we should. So I'm encouraging those people that are instructors or whatever fucking chime in, do all that shit, right? Worst case scenarios is we talk about why we disagree, and then we get to a point where we kind of understand it, or we have you on and we have that conversation. So anyways, hopefully this made sense to you guys. My ESL kicks in and my internet doesn't work, and I have to kind of work with it. But hopefully it made sense to you guys.